Okay, Martin says that the angle DFC is equal to 1/2 of 123, which is equal to 61, because it's half of the intercepted arc. Sandra says that you cannot determine the measure of DFC because you do not have enough information. Who's correct and why? I want one hand. Yes, sir. Martin's correct. All right, so let's think about it. All right, so he's trying to say DFC, okay, is this guy. Okay, what did we learn last week? What did we learn last week? What was the formula?
Oh, I wrote that down.
Central divided by 2 equals the angle, right? Now, let me ask you this. Ready? Let me ask you this. Is this the central angle? No, because it's not the center, right? Okay, so this formula that Martin used, not right. Okay, the formula that Martin used was not correct. Okay, and that was the last time that we talked. So today, what I want you to do is I want you to write on your paper, angles and arcs, intersecting lines on a circle, formed by intersecting lines on a circle. That's what you're going to title today's paper. You write on your paper, angles and arcs formed by intersecting lines on a circle. Okay, so things that we talked about last week. You don't have to write this down unless you were not here last week. Okay, so previous properties. Okay, what we've learned is that vertex at a center of the circle is angle equals arc. Okay, so if the arc is 60 degrees, then the angle is going to be 60 degrees. That's what we learned last time. Okay, if we have a vertex on the circle, then we learn 2 times the angle equals the arc. Y'all learn this as the central angle divided by 2. That's what y'all learned this as, right? Okay, so again, if you were here last week, don't write down these 2 formulas. If you were not here last week, I would make sure that you write down both of those. Okay, one thing that a lot of people make a mistake on is not paying attention to where the vertex is. Vertex is a fancy word for point. That's all it's saying. So for instance, last week we talked about how this looks like Pac-Man. Wonka, 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 right? So that is an inscribed angle. Okay. The central angle is at the center. Okay. Everybody good? Okay. So here are new properties. These are the ones that I want you to write down. Okay. If it is inside the circle, you're going to do 2 times the angle equals arc plus arc. You're also going to see this as me saying arc plus arc divided by 2. And that's going to equal the angle. Arc plus arc divided by 2. Okay. And that's inside the circle. If the vertex is on the outside, then you're going to do big arc minus little arc, and you're going to divide it by 2. The way I memorize this is I say big minus baby divided by 2. Take a moment, write those 2 things down.
What's that number right there? Is it 130 or 1?
So right here, this says 130, this says 50, and then this says 40. So the way that you look at this is you say 130 minus 50 divided by 2, and that would equal 40. Hey, what's up? Hold on one second. Let me look at this. Okay, so on here, you also have this picture right here. Let's talk about this one. Okay, so this says 75 right here. This says 15 right here. So if I take 15, add it to 75, and divide by 2, that gives me 45. That's what gives me this angle right here. Okay, so again, this is just showing how these work. Okay, now we're going to get some practice on this on the next slide, so don't fret. If you're like, oh my God, no, it's okay. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Paper. Shh. On your paper, draw a circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. You're going to put these two chords. This arc is 175. You're trying to find this angle. And then this is 55. Okay. So what's going to happen?
175 plus 55.
So you're going to use the arc plus arc divided by 2 formula. Okay. So what we're going to get is 175 plus 55 and then divide by 2. So somebody told me it was 230. No.
What about 2 would be 1?
Okay. So 230 divided by 2 gives me 115. And that's what this angle is going to be. Okay. Go ahead and take a moment and look at the next one. Go ahead and take a moment, look at the next one. Okay, let's talk. Okay, so now what they're asking for you to find is actually the arc this time. I don't know if anybody caught it, but they're asking you to find the arc. So what you're going to do is you're going to say 90 plus, we don't know the other arc, divided by 2 equals 112. Okay, so now we're going to solve for question mark. Okay, so we're gonna multiply by 2 on both sides. And so that's gonna give me 90 equals 224 plus question mark, sorry. And then we're gonna subtract 90 from both sides. And that gives me question mark equals, somebody do 224 minus 90.
No. 134. I said it first.
All right, what'd you get? Shh. What'd you get? What's up? And what's gonna happen is you've got this outside of the circle. So that's where you're gonna use the big minus the baby divided by 2. And so what I mean by that is this big arc, which is 145. So we're going to take 145 and we're going to subtract the baby arc, which is right here. Okay. And that's going to be 55. And we're going to divide by 2. So what's 145 minus 55? Just 90? 90? Just minus? Minus?
Wait.
Oh, 90.
Good try. Okay. So 90 divided by 2 is going to give me what? 45. So that's going to be 45 right in there. Okay. I want you to try this next one, but notice how they don't have the baby arc. They have this 252 right here. Okay. And then they don't have the baby arc listed. How do we figure out what the baby arc is? 360 minus 252. And that'll give you the baby arc. What's 360 minus 252? 108. Good. Okay, so go ahead and try to find what X is. Go ahead and try to find what X. All right, let's check in. Woohoo! All right, ready? I'm gonna get like one of those rain sticks, you know? Okay, 252. So that's the big arc minus the baby arc, which was 108. We're gonna divide by 2. What'd you get?
144.
Ooh, I got 2 different things.
72.
Okay, so 252 minus 108 is what?
144.
144, and then we divide it by 2,
72.
and that's gonna give us 72. Fantastic. Okay, how many of y'all got that right? Man, I'm such a good teacher.
What is it again?
Huh? You get that? What?
Yeah, because I was like, I didn't know which one I was like, that's what
How did I get 108? Somebody help me. Okay, I'll wait on y'all. Okay, so before you start freaking out, one, I need you to change this to DCE. So we're trying to find this angle right here. Okay. Now, what formula am I going to use if I'm trying to find an angle when I have two arcs?
Arc plus arc.
Arc plus arc
Divided by 2.
divided by 2. Okay? All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 30x minus 4, and we're gonna add it to 50, divide it by 2, and set it equal to 17x plus 9. So here it is again. I did arc plus arc, divided it by 2. Let me give you all a second. And continue. So now we're gonna actually solve for x. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna combine like terms right here up in the top. So that's gonna give us 30x plus 46 divided by 2 equals 17x plus 9. Okay, we're gonna multiply by 2 in order to get rid of this 2 down in the bottom on both sides.
Oh, I forgot.
Okay.
Okay, and when we do that, we're left with 30x plus 46 equals, what's 17 times 2?
34.
34.
And then we want our numbers on one side,
Oh, for my life.
x is on the other. Okay, so we're gonna move the 30 to the other side. And we're gonna move the 18 to the other side. And I'm doing this all in one step because I hope at this point you're able to
Wait, what's 46?
solve. 46
Minus?
minus 18 is what?
28,
Good. And then we're gonna divide by 4.
which is 7.
Okay, and I'm gonna pause and give you a second to kind of finish writing that because I know that's a lot.
Oh, shut up.
So again, they didn't ask us for just what is x. They asked us for what this angle is. So we're gonna take 7 and we're gonna plug it back into here. Okay, so we're gonna take 7 and we're gonna plug it back in. So we've got 17x plus 9. If we plug in 7 for x, what's 17 times 7?
119.
Dang, y'all were already ready. Plus 9?
128.
Fantastic. Okay, so our final answer would be 128. I know, it's a lot of work. Okay, so take a moment, finish writing that down. Once you have that down, what I'd like for you to do is go ahead and draw this picture over here. This right here says 3x minus 4. This right here says x plus 4. And this right here says 28. Okay, so take a moment, finish writing that stuff down, and then we're gonna talk about the next one. All right. Okay, so again, this is 3x minus 4 for the big arc. The baby arc is x plus 4, and then the corner is 28. We're trying to solve for DE. That's this arc. Okay, so what formula are we going to use? We're gonna use big minus the baby, and we're gonna divide it by 2. Okay, so we're gonna say 3x minus 4 minus the baby arc. Now, when you do this, you have to be really careful because this is gonna be x plus 4 inside the parentheses. Okay. And then we're gonna divide it by 2. We'll set that equal to 28, but we're not gonna worry about that just yet. Okay. First thing that you wanna do is you're gonna distribute this negative. Okay, notice how I'm distributing it not only to this x, but also to this 4. So this is going to be 3x minus 4 minus x minus 4 divided by 2 equals 28. Okay, so again, I took the big arc minus the baby arc. A lot of people forget that when I subtract the baby arc, I'm going to distribute that negative because it's not just one number. Does that make sense? A lot of people in my last class struggle with that. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna combine my like terms. What's 3x minus x? 2x. What's negative 4 minus 4? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pause. Let you catch up. And okay, so now we want to get x by itself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna multiply by 2 on both sides to get rid of this 2 in the bottom. We're gonna multiply by 2 on both sides to get rid of that 2 in the bottom. Well, what's 2 times 28?
56.
Okay, so we're gonna have 56 equals 2x minus 8. Now we're gonna add that 8 to the other side. So what's 56 plus 8? 64. And then we're gonna divide by 2 on both sides. So x is going to equal 32. Are we done though?
No.
All right, wait. So here it is. I multiplied by 2. That's what it is. Okay. So we get x equals 32. Now we want the arc. I'll wait. Okay, so we have the arc DE. That's what we're trying to find. So we're going to take x equals 32 and we're going to plug it back in. So we're going to take 3x minus 4 and we're going to plug 32 back in. So what's 3 times 32?
64. No, 96.
96 minus 4 is going to give me what?
92.
So our final answer is going to be 92. Yeah. Find what x and y are. Okay. Now you're using all of the properties that we've learned. So you're not just doing the ones from today, you're also using last week's as well. Okay. So what I want you to do is draw the picture. Okay. And find x and y for this. Okay. Take a second, try that on your own, and we're going to go over it. That does not mean turn to your neighbor and talk. That means try it on your own right now. Okay. So let's take a look. So if we have, wait a minute. Because it doesn't tell us that it G's the center, right? So then no, that's going to be an arc and an arc. So hey, let's talk about it. So in order for me to figure out what x is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say arc plus arc divided by 2. So that's going to be 80 plus 150 divided by 2. That's going to give me 230 divided by 2, which is going to be 115. Okay. How do you figure out what y is? So this is going to be 180 minus 115. It doesn't matter. You're adding them together. It doesn't matter. You're adding these two together.